Hello, I'm so glad to come back and guide you how to make another pop-up card. Actually, I made a video on how to make this card before, but some of my customers said they haven't made this card because they had trouble in some steps. So I'll remake this video with new instructions. I hope you find it easy to make and enjoy this project. As usual, let's see what we need to make this card. First is cardstock. I often use thick cardstock for my pop-up cards. I'll talk about the cardstock thicknesses I'm using later. Next is double-sided tape and glue, eraser and pencil. And finally is cutting machine. If you don't have a cutting machine, you can use an art knife instead. Okay, let's cut the template first. After downloading the template, you'll get a zip file. Extract it to get the template. If you are going to cut the template with an art knife, you can print the files in folder PDF and cut the template out. If you are going to cut the template with a cutting machine, you can upload the files from SVG folder. Now I'm going to cut the template with my cutting machine. I'll upload these files to my Cricut. I'm going to cut artboard 1 first. We need to choose Attach to fix the position of the pieces. Why do we have to do that? I'll talk about it later. Because I'm using thick cardstock, so I choose heavy cardstock mode. And this is the pieces from artboard 1. But wait, don't take those pieces from the cardboard now. We'll write the name of the pieces with pencil first. Open folder PDF and open artboard 1. Here are the name of the pieces. Now I just need to mark the pieces following this one. That's the reason why I need to fix the piece position while cutting. Now I can mark the pieces easily and exactly. Okay, pick those pieces out of the cardboard. Now we have the pieces from artboard 1. Then I'll cut the rest of the artboard like I did artboard 1. And these are pieces from other artboards. And here are the cardstock thicknesses details I'm using. Leave them aside, but pieces from artboard 1. Now we are going to assemble a baby stroller. This is the assembly diagram for the stroller. You can find it in PDF folder. Open artboard 5 and print it out. Take piece A. I'm going to put piece A to piece 1, piece 2, piece 3, piece 4, and piece 5. Here is the position of piece A on the diagram. I'll put piece A on the diagram so that this piece is parallel to line A. As you can see, there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 slots on piece A. Slot positions on piece A match up with the positions of intersection points on line A. The first intersection point is where line A meets line 1. This intersection defines the position of the first slot on piece A. This slot is on piece A and will go to piece 1. So I'll mark A1 at this slot. Similarly, the second intersection is where line A meets line 2. So the second slot on piece A will go to piece 2. So I'll mark A2 at the second slot. This intersection is where line A meets line 3. So the next slot is A3. This is A4 and the last A5. As you can see, there are 5 slots on piece 1. I'll place piece 1 parallel to line 1. The 2 small outermost slots correspond to the 2 outermost intersections on line 1. The intersection between line B and line 1 defines the position of this slot on piece 1. So I'll mark B1 here. I'll mark the next slot below with A1. The next one is B1. I'll do the same on piece 2. This is B2, this is A2, and this is B2. And do the same on piece 3, piece 4, and piece 5. Okay, now pick piece A and put it to piece 1 to piece 5. The first slot on piece A marked with A1. That means this slot will put into piece 1. On piece 1, this slot marked with A1 too. I'll fit the 2 slots marked with the same name together, like this. Just remember, the 2 slots marked with the same name will fit together. Now I'll put piece B to piece 1, piece 2, piece 4, piece 3, and piece 5. This is piece B. I'll also mark slot on piece B like I did on piece A. The first slot is B1, then B2, B3, B4, and B5. When picked it up, some pieces may come loose, but it's okay. The pieces are fit together after assembling piece B. Put piece B to piece 1. Fit the 2 slots marked with B1 first. Then the 2 slots marked with B2. Then the 2 slots B3. As those pieces broke loose, I'm going to put them to piece A first. Fit the 2 slots marked A4 together, then slots marked B4. Fit the 2 slots marked A5 first. Then slots B5. Okay, now I got piece B in front of piece A. Now put another piece B behind piece A. Similarly, I'll mark slots on piece B. Now I'll put piece B from left to right. Let's start with the two slots marked B1. Then the two slots marked B2, then B3, B4, and B5. It looks like this when viewed from above. Now let's go on with PC. As you can see, there are small slits on PC. The lower slits will put to piece 1 to piece 5, and the upper slits will put to piece 3, piece 4, and piece 5. As you can see, piece 1, piece 2, piece 3, piece 4, and piece 5 have small lower slots. The small slots will put into the lower slits on piece C, and the small upper slot on piece 3, piece 4, and piece 5 will put to the upper slits on piece C. Fit the lower slots to the lower slits first. Then fit the upper slots to the upper slits. Okay, now assemble another PC to the back. Just repeat the steps like we did before. Now pick those pieces 6 and put them to the stroller canopy. As you can see, there are small slots here. Now I'll put the pieces 6 to the canopy. Adjust the pieces 6 a bit to make sure the slots fit together perfectly. Next, pick pieces 7 and put them to the stroller wheels. Please note that piece 7 has the tab. Put piece 7 to the stroller wheel that its tab is on the same side of the wheel's tab. Put piece 7 to the wheel like this. Do the same to this one. Okay, we got a stroller. Now I'll erase what I wrote here. Next, take these pieces to make the baby in the stroller. Add glue on the white piece. And stick it to the black piece like this. Repeat on this side. Stick the mouth to the face. There are two ways to stick the tie to the baby. If you are going to make this card for a baby boy, stick the tie to the neck. If this one is for a girl, stick it to the head. I'm going to make it for my niece, so I'll stick it to the head. I'll do the same on this side. Okay, let's put the baby to the stroller. Just make sure the baby is clamped between the middle pieces. We're done with the hardy steps. Next, we'll attach the baby stroller to the cart base. I'll fold the tabs up. Then fit these tabs through the slits on the base. Use double-sided tape to attach the tabs to the base. Okay, let's open and see how it looks. If the stroller can't pop up, you can leave it aside and move to the last steps. Now I'll fix the base to the cover. Fold along the dotted line. Place the base in the middle of the cover. Add double-sided tape on the four edges, as usual, and add glue on the pattern on the cover. Now I'll stick the base to the cover. Similarly, I'll do the same thing on the other side. Add double-sided tape on the four edges and add little glue on the base. Now paste the cover to the base. Okay, we've completed our card. Let's see our result again. I love it because it's so lovely. Have you got a card? Don't forget to make it with your color and your style. Once again, I hope you love it. Thank you so much for making this card. See you in the next video. Bye!